it's all about getting the word out, and PR is about letting the people, the local people in this community know that you have sports. And I think a big thing between Division I and Division III is, I hate to say it, but
you can make it off the record.
No, I just say no. I mean, I'm trying to think. No, again, the only thing we sell tickets for is football. So obviously, we want people to come to the games.
Yeah.
In basketball, I think at basketball, my coach isn't coming to me and going, "Sully, how the hell are we gonna get people in the seats?" Whereas I think if you're a Division I think that there's so many different levels and different. I'm sure
Is it marketing influence?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure at some D1 schools, the coach is saying to you, "Hey Max, how the hell are we going to get people to come to this game?" But I don't get that. I mean, I don't want to say the coaches don't care, but that's not really.
That's not part of your job.
That's right.
Yeah.
I actually went for an interview one time at the University of New Haven. I did. This is I don't know how many years ago it was, but one of the questions that someone's, I forget if it was the coach or the AD said, "How are you going to get people to come to our games?" And that's when I knew, I don't want this job.
Yeah,
Because that's not, I mean, this is...
It's not you. It's
not
like
me.
sales.
Yeah, right, sales and marketing.
Yeah.
So,
It's not.
but I can see some people saying, how are you going to get people to recruit better?
I don't know.
Get better players?
Yeah, win.
Win? And that's it. That's what it is. If you win, they're going to show up.
Yeah.
If you don't, they're not.
Simple as that.
It's seriously simple.
That's a huge tradition.
Is there a public relations department at Coast Guard Academy?
Oh yeah,
There is.
there's a public relations department at the Coast Guard Academy, and
Are you back and forth with them all the time, or is that a completely different sector of?
it's different. I try, they have a staff of like 4 people, and I really don't know what they do. And so and again that position like rotates every couple of years. So it's like I feel like I can go back without my assistant. I feel like I did way more as one person than they did as 4. It's just I didn't know, but they're okay. I try to keep them in the loop as much as possible, but I wouldn't say that it's a daily interaction. Maybe once a month or so.
See, talk about that one. Crisis.
What do you think about that first pack?
What's that?
What did you say?
Is that missing?
Crisis, like I said.
Hold on.
This one?
Did I? I think you
Yeah.
So that crisis thing would be kind of like what I told you, where that kid was accused of rape, and
Yeah.
I just called and said, "Hey, do me a favor. Don't please, you refer to him as a Coast Guard cadet, but don't refer to him as a Coast Guard football player." And I was not releasing him. They wanted. I had often people call me for a football headshot. I'm like, "You're not getting it." I said, "We'll send you the cadet, military dress headshot." I said, "That's fine, but we're not going to send you a headshot in a football uniform, because we don't need that."
Coach will be getting phone calls.
Right, exactly. You didn't need that bad.
Players will get phone calls.
Yeah.
What types of public relations activities do you think your department can conduct more successfully?
That's a great question. I think we do a lot. Like I said, our AD has a D1 mentality, and he want. I think from our standpoint, people who are local, they see the gates around the Coast Guard Academy and they think, "Oh, we can't come in there." So actually, this past Saturday, we just had a thing that's called Celebrate New London Day, and we gave free tickets to all the elementary school kids in New London. All you got to do is sign up, and you got free. I think it's all about letting people know that if you have an ID, people see the gates, and you can come in. If you have an ID, you can come in. You can watch the game. And as much as I said, we don't really our main focus isn't people showing up to the game, but we want people to come to the games, but that's not our main. It'd be great if they could learn about the Coast Guard Academy and come in and watch games. So I think that's our big thing. We try to do stuff with big brothers, big sisters, and again, we want the New London people to embrace the academy and come. And I think our new AD has done a great job of that. He's always doing stuff like that too. Whether it's getting youth football groups to come to the games, or like I said, Celebrate New London Day. He has great ideas and stuff like that.
One question. Kind of like a recap, because that's almost all we have. Where do you see the industry going next 5-10 years from now? Do you expect to have more staff members? Do you expect to have more or less responsibility as an SID?
No, I mean,
You can project where it could be.
I just
10 years
think
from now.
it's grown so. I mean, again, it's grown so much. When I first got to the academy in 1995, I mean, the internet was not, people didn't have websites. I mean, it was as simple as you'd go to the game, you type up your recap, you send it out to the media, and you go home. Now it's you got to do this, and you got to send your. I'll start talking.
Twitter. All that
Well, yeah. I mean, you got to upload your XML file to the league. You got to up to the NCAA. You got to have your box score up. I mean, the fact that box scores are up so fast is unbelievable. I mean, that's what I like that about Presto is that if I'm playing a game at WPI and I talk about so I'm at football, but as soon as I get over, the box score is going to be up. The story made the box score is up.
Yep.
It's just. But it's just, I mean, even like audio, video. We actually do a lot of that stuff. We have a guy who does. Well, we actually are on local radio now too. That was the thing. Our new AD came in, and so all of our games are on local radio, so, which is good. And then we stream it. We always streamed it online.
Yep. But you publicize it.
Yeah, yep. And we audio broadcast all of our basketball games. We just started doing video. So I mean, it's 5 years ago that was everything's now audio, video, live stats. It's like I always say, the more you give them, the more they want.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's next. I mean, like I said, it's next within 10 years, probably everyone's going to have video highlights on their website. That's going to be the thing, right? You're going to have video. I think some big D1 schools do. They have production trucks and stuff. They're going to have.
They have people hired this.
Right, you're going to have people cutting videos, and so as someone's writing a story, someone else is going to be putting up. You're going to have almost like a sports center. You have 3 or 4 minutes of highlights on the game, with a narration over it. It's just the technology is amazing, and every year it's something new, really.
Do you get to travel with the teams, or do you just usually?
With football, I do travel because now we're on local radio to make sure that that's on me. That broadcast needs to get off the ground there. Or that's on my ass, quite frankly. So I do travel with football, basketball every now and then, and that's about it. And baseball and softball, yeah. And especially now with the assistant, it's good because he's actually a softball guy, so he's actually the volunteer pitching coach for the softball team now too. So in the spring, he'll have all the softball, I'll have all the baseball. Yeah, it works out well.
One other question: do you have like student media or stuff like that on your campus?
We don't.
We don't.
So
that's nice.
Yeah. So I've dealt with them before. Yeah. I mean, I know. Yeah. I mean, and when I was in Southern Connecticut, they had a student newspaper, and they're sometimes they don't get it, and they right. I'm sure that's the way. Yeah. But
Preaching to the choir. Yeah.
But the thing is, you try to help them out, and you try to say, hey, this is what's important, this is what's not important, and
some of the questions they ask, it's like, oh,
yeah.
come on.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. I think we're good.
Good.
That was good stuff.
34 minutes worth of non.